Welcome back to Big Nick's Meats and Treats. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving and everything came out the way you wanted it to. We had a great feast. It was fantastic. Everybody loved the food. Today we're having our first measurable snowfall of the winter, and it just got me in the mood to make something really festive. So today we're going to make cranberry meringue cake, and I think you're going to really like it for the holidays. Let's get into this. The only special equipment you're going to need for this cake is a 9-inch springform pan. So if you don't have one, get yourself one of these. And then the longest part of the whole process here is to candy the cranberries. So what I did is I took a 1/4 cup of water and 3/4 cup of agave, and I heated it for a couple of minutes on medium-low heat. And now I'm going to add 2 cups of cranberries in here and just stir them up till they get nice and coated. And then I'm going to cover this and let them sit and chill for about 5 hours so that agave works into the cranberries, because later on we're going to cover them in sugar and put it on top of the cake. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I have my cranberries in the refrigerator chilling now for 4 or 5 hours. Make sure when you heat up that water in agave that you don't get it too hot, because they'll pop the cranberries when you put it in there. So just be careful. Medium-low heat for 2 minutes, okay? Now we're going to start the meringue part of the cake. I'm going to take 4 egg whites and put them in the mixer here. And I'm going to whip this for about, I don't know, just until I get to soft peaks, okay? So that's going to take a couple of minutes, and then we're going to start adding some other ingredients. See you in a bit. Okay, we have soft peaks on our egg whites now. And while the mixer is going, I'm going to slowly add in 1 cup of sugar. So just slowly put that in there while the mixer is going. Building a real nice meringue for the cake. Okay. Then I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of vanilla and put that in there while the mixer's going. And a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And a little pinch of salt. I always use table salt for baked goods. Okay. And then I'm going to let that go for about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to mix in the ginger snaps. See you in a bit. Okay, we got our meringue all mixed up. It's nice and stiff and white and tastes really, really good. Next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take 4 cups of ginger snap cookies that I crushed up with a rolling pin inside of a freezer bag just to get them not totally to dust. You want a few hunks in there, which is fine. And I used a whole bag of ginger snaps and didn't quite have 4 cups, so I mixed in a little bit of graham crackers in there to make up the difference. And now I'm just going to fold those cookies in with the meringue. You don't want to mix it too stiff, just fold it in there. I got my oven preheated right now to 350 degrees. And now I'm going to take this mixture, once I get it all folded in here, and I'm going to put it in my springform pan that I sprayed down with Pam. And we'll get that all spread out in here evenly. Make sure you spray it down with Pam real good. I got the oven heated to 350, and I'm going to put this in the oven now for 30 to 40 minutes. So we'll see you in about a 1/2 hour. Okay, I've been cooking the cake now for 35 minutes at 350 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and take that thing out, and we're going to just set it on a cooling rack and let it sit there for about 15 minutes before I take it out of the springform pan. And while we're doing that, let's get started on the topping. Okay, we're ready to make the frosting for the cake. I'm going to start off with 8 ounces of cream cheese. I use the good stuff. I recommend you do too. And then you're going to take a 1/2 cup of sour cream. A 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to mix that up until it's completely smooth and you're getting soft peaks. You don't want any lumps in this at all. So it's going to have to go for a bit. We'll see you in a sec. Okay, we got our frosting made up. Now I'm going to take the cake out of the pan. It's not quite cool enough to put the frosting on yet, so I don't want to put the frosting on just yet. And cake looks great. I'm going to let this completely cool before I put the frosting on because I don't want the frosting to melt, so it's probably going to be another half hour or so, and then we'll get the frosting on. And in the meantime, the cranberries are still in the refrigerator sitting in the agave. We'll see you in a bit. All right, I'm ready to put the finishing touches on these cranberries. They've been sitting in the refrigerator now 4.5 hours or so in the agave. So what I need to do is just pour them into a colander and drain that agave out of there. And get as much out of there as you can. And then I'm going to take a few at a time. And I put some sugar in a baking dish here, and I want to roll the berries around in this sugar and get them completely coated in sugar. Be gentle with them though so you don't pop them. Get them all completely covered. And then I'm going to lay them out on a baking sheet covered in parchment paper. And I need to do all these until the agave's completely dry. So I'm gonna finish them, and then I'll probably put them out in the garage or in the refrigerator and let the agave dry, and then we'll be putting these on top of the frosting after we frost the cake. So this will take me a little bit, and then we'll frost the cake here shortly, and then we'll see you in a bit. All right, I'm ready to frost this cake, and it looks fantastic and smells so good. So just so you know, this isn't going to have that typical cake texture that you think about when it's a cake because there's no flour in it. It's just meringue and cookies. So the texture is going to be a little bit different than you're used to. So let's get this frosting on here that we made earlier. I'm just going to spread that around with this offset spatula all the way to the edges. Man, it looks great. Now, I'm going to take these cranberries that we candied and start putting them on the cake in a single layer to start with. Oh man, that looks so festive. I just love the look of this. Doesn't that look good? So good. And you'll have more than you need to do it, so then I usually just stack them up a little bit on top of each other once I get a good layer on there. These candied cranberries are the perfect balance between tart and sweet. Okay, so there we have the cranberries on. You can garnish this with rosemary or any other type of greenery to make it look real nice. And it just is super, super festive cake for the holidays. I'm going to cut into this thing and we'll give it a taste. We'll see you in a second. All right, I'm ready to cut into this thing and take a taste. I already sliced it. I'm going to take a piece out and try this out. So you got the inside and the frosting and the berries. It's gonna be great. And it just smells like gingerbread. It has that real Christmassy smell, which is great. That's so good. Again, it doesn't have flour in it, so it's a kind of a meringue texture, but it tastes like gingerbread on the inside. And that frosting with the candied cranberries, addictive. Really, really good. If you want to try something that's out of the ordinary for the holidays and make a great dessert, try this out. It's really not that hard. It's a lot of fun. People haven't had it. We're going to be doing another video soon. Give us a like and a subscribe. Tell your friends and family about us. And until then, watch me work, baby. Watch me work.